and welcome to a new era with Arsenal on FM19. And I think we're at episode 9 now. I think I've gone a few ahead, so I'm sort of losing count, but I'm pretty sure episode 9 is where we're at. Certainly 8 or 9. So last time out we had the Ludogorets, was it the first knockout round, second leg, and the Wolves final, along with the draw for the Europa League. Obviously, because we got through that, we did unfortunately lose the League Cup on penalties. Absolutely heartbreaking to lose the way we did. I think we deserved to win the game, and probably it's just on penalties we just got absolutely destroyed. So today, we've got another cup double. So it's Hoffenheim here today in our second leg of the Europa League. Second round, and then we've also got Newcastle in the FA Cup sixth round quarter-final. I think that's what it is. We'll have a look in a minute and just see how we've got on and sort of where we are exactly. We've played a few games and I want to just whiz through those a little bit. As you can see, we've got quite a few players out missing. Some of them we knew, some we didn't have happened since. We'll go through those. Reece Nelson is out for them, but I think he would have been out anyway. But yeah, let's get into the games and see how we've got on. So first up, after that disappointing Wolves game, was Newcastle. We did bounce back in the league. Obviously, got Newcastle today. We've played them fairly recently, so it's a good practice for it, I guess. 2-0 goals from Hector Bellerin on the half hour and Alexandre Lacazette on the hour, pretty much. We absolutely dominated this game. They were in no trouble of sort of scoring against us, causing us many problems. We had a lot of shots, not so many on target, but a decent amount. And a 2-0 win is probably fair, probably deserved more, but we take it, I guess. We then had the first leg against Hoffenheim. Again, they weren't in this game at all. We took the lead through Ozil, but on just after the half hour mark, they did equalise, and it was their first shot on goal. It was absolutely disgusting. But straight away, we went straight up the other end. Well, time-wise, it's 4 minutes later, but highlight-wise, it was straight away, and we got the Rafinha, who'd actually come on for Ozil, who went off injured. He's out for, I think it's 4 months. 4 months. I had to send him a specialist to get it down to 4 months. It was going to be 6. But absolutely gutted for that. Pereira picked up another knock. I think he might be back today for today's game. I'm not too sure. We'll have a look at the squad when we get to that. But yeah, absolutely dominated this game. And we got the win, but it's the away goal that is the issue. And really, we should have been a bit more home and dry in this tie based on the game, possession, shots, etc. And they've done it again. Cardiff, it's that man Zahore again. It's absolutely ridiculous how we haven't won this game. We had to put quite a bit of rotation out, mostly due to the injuries that we've seen. So we've had a few that we picked up sort of recently before the last couple of games I've just mentioned, and obviously we picked up Ozil, Pereira. I think we had another one in that game as well. Went off for a couple of days. Ramsey's gone out injured now as well. He's going to miss today, possibly back for Newcastle, but I'm not sure what sort of team we're going to put in that game anyway. But we did take the lead through Nketiah, who was playing up front. And again, it was pretty much their first shot on goal. Stats-wise, it was a fairly even game. But the highlights were all ours. We were absolutely peppering them. And then they just played this ridiculous ball from the back that sort of went towards out for a throw-in, and then curled back in towards our 18-yard box, basically. It certainly felt like it was going that way, but out for a frame, but it was very wide and then just sort of curved back in. He's run onto it and just buried it in the top corner. And he's scored 2 absolute worldies against us, and I think he's probably only scored 2 goals all season based on their league position. If we just have a quick click on him, he's got 7 league goals, so he's not doing that badly. I mean, he's not playing great, but he's playing well against us. We did have a chance on 55 minutes, to go 2-0 up, but Zelalem missed a penalty, and they pretty much, from the clearance, like I say, booted it out of the pitch. And he gets on the end, and 1-1 draw. We made some changes, switched some things up. Wasn't enough. We couldn't get back in the game, and unfortunately we did succumb to a 1-1 draw. Just as the league was starting to look like it could be opening up for us to have a chance at closing the gap, certainly. And we'll have a look at the league table now. We've got games in hand, or a game in hand now, which will take us up to 63. But we've got 2 on the top, which will take us to 66. 4 points behind second, and 6 points behind top. So a win there against Cardiff really would have been the tonic for us to really push on actually and have a bit of a title run with the last 8 games to go. Really put the pressure on, but I think that drop in points there to Cardiff has possibly seen that as maybe being the top 3, top 4 as being the top the best we can really do. Watford still really chasing and putting the pressure on us. Chelsea just behind them as well. Tottenham probably a little bit further behind, too far behind for us. Hopefully, I mean, if we collapse from there and let them back in, then that would be absolutely disastrous. Cardiff still planted to the bottom of the table, 5 points off safety. We just can't beat them. I don't know why. We just can't beat them. So we're going to jump into, well, you'll see the lineups now, what we've gone for. We're pretty much all we can go for. It's the strongest team I can put out. So we are away from home now. Obviously we've got the 2-1 win at home. They're going with a 3-5, well, 5-3-2, 5-3-5-2, whatever way you want to look at it. I've been tinkering a little bit on my Ajax save that I'm playing at work with this sort of system, and it's a bit hit and miss. I mean, we were absolutely dominant in this game. Like I said, everything was going our way. We were getting down their flanks so easily. Obviously, we've got the overload with the 2 wide players on each side. They have us a little bit in the middle, I suppose, or set at the back. But we were getting so wide out against them, and it might be something we try and exploit a bit more in this second leg. But in terms of team, we've got Lacazette up front, Aubameyang still out, Rafinha's coming for Ozil, we've got Paqueta, he's on the bench, he has been injured, he's just returned himself. We've got Pereira on the left, Mkhitaryan on the right, and Rennie in the middle, and he's joined by Willock. Ramsey's injured, and then we've got Xhaka and Vecino are not registered for this competition, so they can't play. And the back four is the back four that we've been playing quite regularly. On the bench we've got Lichtstein, Nketiah, Maitland-Niles, Paqueta, like I said, Bowler's still there floating around, Torreira, and we do welcome back Iwobi. He did come off the bench against Cardiff. Didn't have much of an impact, unfortunately. We only gave him about 20 minutes, so it's probably unlikely anyway, but it was my last spin of the dice against them. I didn't really have a bench to call upon. But he's on there today if we need him, and no doubt Pereira will pick up another knock, or Mkhitaryan will. Both of those have picked up knocks in this little run. It just seems every time they play they pick up a 1 to 3 knock. It's getting a bit ridiculous. They do seem to be reacting to this prove a point talk that Bowley does now, and not so much when I do it. But we get into the game and hopefully we can have a positive result in this one. And we've got to half time, and I apologise if you can hear my laptop. Just literally in the run up to half time it just started powering up and fans going off. It's got a bit noisy. Hopefully the mic isn't picking it up too badly. Is that Quado has gone there on a free? Is that something that's happened in real life? I don't know. I thought he was still at Juventus, but was it Juventus? I just looked at it and I've completely forgot. I just remember his FIFA card. But 0-0 at half time. As it stands, we are going through, but I mean, 1 goal from them and that changes absolutely everything. We're going to stick with the proof of point because they seem to like it. Jump into the second half and hopefully we can get something. We've got a few players on yellow, so we might have to bear that in mind as we get further into the game. But we're coming forward here. I don't think there's going to be much. Nope, there's not. Free kick to them. Griffo, who's I'm being warned about as being their key player, puts it wide. Krasnach finds Willock, another one on the yellow card at the moment, and he floats his shot just wide. But we've got the 2 wide players looking very tired, so they might have to be changed very shortly. I'm being told they're exhausted, so they're coming off. So on the right, we're going to go with Maitland-Niles, and then on the left, we're going to go with, Iwobi. He's got about 20 minutes again. It's probably about his limit right now. Up front, Lacazette hasn't done too much, and he's on a booking, so I would ideally like to take one of the midfielders off, because they're going to start tiring, and being booked is not a good combination, but Lacazette's just had a general bad day at the office, so hopefully Nketiah can provide a bit of a fresh spark for us. As we come forward here, Pereira finds Mkhitaryan. The change hasn't happened yet, and it's gone in somehow. I looked away just to make sure the subs were happening, and it's an own goal by Kaderabek. Don't know who he is, but as we see here, Pereira, just before they go off, him and Mkhitaryan combining very nicely. Mkhitaryan gets the ball into the box, and it's just headed into his own net. And that's the away goal neutralised. They now need 2 just to bring us to extra time. We're going to continue with the changes. In fact, I should have said no, because I should have changed the midfielder, giving Lacazette a bit more of a free run at this game. As they have a throw in here, Maitland-Niles. We're on the counter now. Hopefully, perhaps here Nketiah. We mentioned his fresh pace and the Iwobi, and obviously I forget who I put on the right now. Completely mind blank because I'm trying to see what's happening in the game. Holding clears it nicely. Oh, it was like Maitland-Niles, wasn't it? And as their subs flicked up at the top, I thought that was a goal happening, as they brought on Havard Nordtveit, who's an ex-Arsenal youth player, of course. The tie's done. We're through to what's the next round? Is it the quarter? I don't think it's the quarterfinals yet. I think it's is it their 3rd round? I'm not too sure. It might be the quarterfinals actually. Yeah, we're in March, so it must be the quarterfinals. Iwobi, no doubt, it's going to pick up another knock. Willock. cleared. El Neni finds Bellerin, and that's the end of the game. 1-0 win, 3-1 aggregate. That's not too bad. We've got through the tie. That's the most important thing. No, we're not going with that team talk. Well done, lads. That was a good win. Yeah, I think that'll do. We will drop a rest on these players, and we have got the draw very shortly, so I'll be back for that one moment. It is indeed the quarterfinals, so obviously like the final 8, we've got teams such as Real Madrid, Liverpool, Burnley, and Eintracht Frankfurt still in there. I could do with Eintracht Frankfurt personally. I think they're probably the weakest team in there, I guess. The English contingent is us, Liverpool and Burnley. From 2 Spanish teams, Real Madrid and Sevilla. We've got 1 French and 1 Italian, 1 German, Inter, Marseille and Frankfurt. So we'll do the automatic draw, just add a bit more of a authentic feel to it. We come out first out the hat, ball number 1, and we get Sevilla. That's a toughie because obviously Unai Emery has managed them in the past. We've taken over him, but Sevilla are notorious for being quite successful in the Europa League. What was it? They won it 3 times in 4 years, something like that. And I haven't got La Liga loaded, so we're probably not going to be able to see it. No, I literally just, I think, got the Premier League loaded just to try and keep this running a bit quicker. Alex Vidal's back there from Barcelona. I don't think is that a real transfer? Maybe it is. Messer was he had quite a good FIFA card last year, I think. Cheap player. Is he on loan from Milan? Again, I don't know if that's something that's happened really. I can't imagine so when they've only just signed him. Maybe it is, I don't know. Vasquez, I know his card. Muriel was my favourite FIFA card. I mentioned it a few times last on FIFA for FM18 as well. Yeah, so a decent team. We'll have our work cut out. It doesn't look like as strong as some Sevilla teams we've seen in the past, but we still have our wits about us to get through. So we'll skip through and we'll have the Newcastle game, the FA Cup 6th round one. Jumping straight to the lineups for this game. As you can see, we've had to go for a bit of rotation again, partly due to injuries, primarily through to a lot of players being tired from that last game, particularly in the wing positions. So now we've got Nketiah back up front. He scored his goal last time, so we keep faith of him. Aubameyang's still not back. Paqueta's back from injury, so he's going to replace the tired Rafinha and obviously injured Ozil. We've got Welbeck on the left. I don't want to risk Iwobi from the start. Welbeck's just come back, so we'll give him a go. He's better than the youth options that we've got at left midfield, so yeah, he comes in. Vecino steps into midfield. Ramsey's not quite back yet, but he's the obvious choice. He would have played in Europe if I had the opportunity. So still quite strong in midfield. So we've got Torreira next to him. So yeah, very strong. Maitland-Niles on the right. Again, great trust in him. He's played well for me whenever I've played him pretty much. And I've played him in all sorts of positions. Left midfield, right midfield, centre midfield, left back, right back. He's done quite well. Man for all seasons, I guess, if you like. And in the back 4 is the backup back 4, essentially. Monreal and Lichtsteiner on the wing backs, full backs. Mavropanos and Koscielny in the middle, and Peter Cech on the bench. Quite strong. We've got Bella in there if we need him, Lacazette if we need him. We've got Joe Willock, Rafinha if we need him, Bola, Granit Xhaka and Alex Iwobi. We're trying to get Iwobi maybe another sort of 15-20 minutes again if we need to. They've got Divock Origi up front. If you want to have a look at the Newcastle team, just go back and pause it, of course. We'll let the assistant take it, and he's, yeah, these reservey sort of players haven't quite got to grips with the team talks just yet. The first team is sort of like the morale boosts. But yeah, this team in the league, we won 2-0 and it was fairly easy, but there were moments that Kennedy particularly looked like he was going to cause and Origi's pace looked like they were going to cause us a bit of trouble. Vecino finds Welbeck, back to Monreal, back to Vecino, playing it around nicely into Torreira. He needs to look right here really, he should have looked right. Luckily we've not been caught out there. Mavropanos on the cover, finds Lichtsteiner, finally goes right, but most of the space has gone there, but the left side has opened up. Monreal, can he find a good ball? It's a penalty. Maitland-Niles is fouled. Paqueta's going to take it. He's been quite good for me in the goals when he's played. Can he add another one today? He does, straight down the middle. Cool, calm, composed. Straight down the middle, sends Dubrovka the wrong way. And it's his 6th goal of the season, which I think is all goals for us. As you can see here, he just gives the keeper the eyes. Taps it down the middle. Lovely penalty. Shame ZLM couldn't do that against Cardiff. We have a corner here. Torreira will take it. Maitland-Niles have a shot. Someone have a shot. Oh, come on. It's set for 2 of you to have a pop there. Maitland-Niles down to Paqueta, and he doubles his tally for the day. Like I say, when he plays, he scores. And Maitland-Niles with the assist again. That's technically an assist on the penalty from Maitland-Niles. Assist to that there. and Paqueta with 2 goals. He can thank Maitland-Niles for his performance today. He's put them on a plate for him. Welbeck whips it in. Maitland-Niles just nods it down, and on the volley, just straight under Dubrovka's his hands and into the back of the net. 2-0 to Arsenal, and at this rate we're heading to the semi-finals. But I'm not going to count my chickens just yet. I mean, they've had the better of the game, marginally, not much in it. I wonder if Lacazette's... I don't think he's had much of a change on what's happened here. Prove a point, yep, everyone but Paqueta, because he is making a difference, so he obviously didn't like that. He picks up the ball again, and yeah, the highlight ends. Obviously we probably have played Newcastle other times in the Cup, but my lingering memory is the 1998 FA Cup final. I think I just turned 16, or was about to turn 16, and I think we'd won the league, or we're possibly about to seal the league. I can't remember the exact... I think we'd won the league already, because we won it fairly early with games to spare, because we lost against Villa and when we'd already won the league and put a bit of a weaker team out and stuff. And yeah, it was Anelka and Overmars in that final against Newcastle, and it was just, I'm sure it was my 16th birthday. It was just absolutely just quality and great summer, and I mean that was the start of the Arsene Wenger revolution at Arsenal, really. That's where all the success began. Vecino out to Monreal. Maitland-Niles, it's another penalty. Is Paqueta going to take it and get the hat-trick? With a hat-trick assist for Maitland-Niles. He has the opportunity and he buries it. Hat-trick for Paqueta, hat-trick assist for Maitland-Niles. What a game these two are having. But yeah, just going back to that 98 FA Cup, I do actually have the Newcastle shirt. I'm pretty sure it's from that tournament. I had a bet with my uncle. It was like, I said at the start of the season we were going to win the FA Cup. And he's like, if you win the FA Cup, I'll get every shirt of the team you beat. I've got the Wolves one. I had the West Ham one. I don't think I've got it anymore. I've got the Newcastle. There's a few others. I don't think they might be at my mum and dad's somewhere in storage, but I've certainly got the Newcastle one because it still fits. I wore it on my stag do in Newcastle a couple of years ago. As we whip the ball in here, Paqueta and Maitland-Niles finally gets on the score sheet himself. 4-0. Tie well and truly done. We can start looking at maybe making some changes here, getting some fresh legs on. So Torreira just whips it in. It's actually Paqueta for him. It's almost a Paqueta assist for him, but it was cleared by the defender first. Unfortunately, that would have been some story. We're still harrying and harassing them, and they're not doing it. Oh, Lacazette, he's been let through, and he buries his goal. Not seen him. He's not been the best for me this season, Lacazette. I did want to try and get a system where I could play him and Aubameyang together, but maybe next season we can look at evolving it a little bit and playing the two up front. But I do like it's keeping an Ozil in as well. We've got Paqueta now. It's tough to get them both, all three of those in. Iwobi picks it up. What can he do with it here? Don't like seeing him getting tackled like that. Don't want him being injured again. Iwobi, he is fouled on the edge of the box. Hopefully, and Yedlin's off. Hopefully Iwobi's okay. Yeah, I don't want him being out again. We've missed him since he's been injured, especially with Pereira constantly getting injured himself and Mkhitaryan. But Torreira's going to take the free kick, resulting free kick, and Iwobi almost marks his return. Well, not his return, he's been back for a few games off the bench, but nearly got his first goal back since coming back. That's the end of the game. Maitland-Niles, I think... Oh, Paqueta gets it for the hat-trick, obviously. But Maitland-Niles got 3 assists, I think, and a goal. So I'm pretty sure he should have got it, really. Paqueta got it, yeah. I mean, he got a hat-trick, you can't say too much. But, I mean, yeah, like I say, Maitland-Niles with a hat... Yeah, he gifted him as 1 assist. And a 6.9. Am I looking in the wrong place? I thought he did better than that, personally. Efforts are excellent after a 5-0 win, of course. You can't really say anything but. And we will come back. We have got the draw for the semi-final, so 2 draws in this episode as well. It won't take us quite long to do this one, obviously only 4 teams left. So yeah, the draw, it's Man City, Man United, the 2 Manchester clubs of course, Arsenal and Bournemouth. If we could pull Bournemouth in the semi, that would be absolutely quality. Aubameyang is back now, so we'll nurse him back into the team gradually. And Nketiah's out for 6 or 7 weeks, but we have got sort of 2 weeks to the next game, which is Chelsea in the league. And it's done all right against them in the cups. In the league, not so much. So that'd be an interesting one. If we need, we're 4th, they're 5th. We need to really sort of break from them and push forward a little bit, and obviously close the gap on the top 3. But we'll come back to what we're doing next episode after this draw. So we will do the automatic. Why not? We come out first again. And we do get Bournemouth Now, don't get me wrong, it's not an easy tie, but I'd prefer them over Man United and Man City. And Man United come out first, but it shifted to Man City. I don't know if it's because is it Old Trafford or something? No, it's going to be at Wembley. I don't know why it's done that. Is it gone purely on alphabetical or something? Because it's neutral, I'm not too sure. But Bournemouth are currently 12th in the Premier League. So yeah, not a pushover. A decent team. When does this happen? Happens on the 6th of April. So that's probably the next. No, it's still going to be Chelsea game next. So we'll look at the schedule, see where we're coming back. So yeah, the Chelsea game. Well, we got a couple of games before the FA Cup, I think. Oh, it hasn't put it in here yet, so it's going to hit here the Southampton game. It's going to replace the Southampton game. So, where are we coming back? I mean, it's got to be Europa League. We'll do the same again. So we've got Sevilla second leg, and then Man City. So we'll do the Man City and Seville. And we've got Bournemouth around the same sort of times we have them in the FA Cup as well. Just seem to bulk up on the same games quite a lot. Trying to break them up a little bit and show something different. We've got Southampton quite close as well, because that's going to push back. So we're going to have them the two games against them quite close to each other. But yeah, we'll come back for Sevilla second leg and Man City in the Premier League at home. A home and away game this time, so you're in for a treat. But if you enjoyed this episode, please do drop a like. If you're new to the channel, please do drop a sub while you're there. All that stuff helps with the YouTube algorithm, boosts my channel up and all that sort of stuff. Like I said, I've made a few videos and really enjoying the increased sort of viewership and contact and stuff with the viewers and stuff. So yeah, comments as well, keep them coming. And yeah, until next time for that double header again, I'm still sticking with the 2 games a week. Let me know if you are enjoying that and prefer that. Yeah, we'll see you for those 2 games. See you next time. Take care.